Good morning, everyone. Today I will be discussing to you Module 3 entitled Digital Skills and Tools in Delivering Technology Enhanced Lessons. Teaching becomes rewarding when learners get the most from instructions as manifested in their performance. An important element in engaging learners is when the strategy used in delivering the lessons uses an instructional material. When properly and appropriately used, this can spice up the classroom activity, and these instructional materials may come in a varied forms. This module presents digital skills and tools in delivering technology. So it explores the possibilities of learning about these tools and how to effectively integrate them in instruction. So the teachers need instructional materials to enhance teaching and learning, of course. So these instructional materials are defined as printed and non-print items that are rested to impact information to students into educational processes. So here are the outcomes of this module. First is to integrate media and technology in various content areas. Second, describe technology tools that are used in group activities. Third, use technology tools to collaborate and share resources among communities of practice. And the fourth is reflected on the use of technology and on its relevance and appropriateness. So let's proceed on Lesson 1. Lesson 1 is entitled Select and Use ICT Tools for Teaching and Learning. Here are the learning objectives of this lesson. Select and use an appropriate digital tool in teaching and provide alternative ways in incorporating the digital tool in a lesson. Let's proceed on the selection and use of digital tool and how you can integrate it in your lesson. We have letter A, using mobile phone and the QR code for the selection and use of digital tool. So since the ICT integration allows ease of processing information, here's an example of how we can read information at quicker speed and in an interesting manner. QR code. So what is QR code? QR code is a code that was created by Japanese corporation Dentsu Wave in 1994. It is effectively and efficiently connecting the physical world with the electronic world. QR stands for Quick Response. QR code is a machine-readable code consisting of an array of black and white squares, typically used for storing URLs or other information for reading by the camera or a smartphone. It also allows the readers to decode the information at a high rate of speed. So this is popular in Japan, and it is also used by companies as they attach their QR code in their products. So it usually gives a URL linking you to a website or immediately the salient information about the product, just like what I have said lately. So below are examples of QR code, and it is popularly used in different products, reading materials, and even in museums. You can also read easily QR codes through a QR code scanner. So here's all you need to do. First is to have a mobile phone with camera, and using the mobile phone, download from Play Store or App Store the QR code or the QR code scanner application. Once installed in your gadget, you can use it to read the codes. Next is focus your camera on QR code, click it, and the message will be revealed to you. So as simple as that, you really only need to have a mobile phone first before you could do these processes. Now, how will you make your own QR code? So here's the things that you need to do. First is to be active online, search for QR code generator, and ensure that you read the information about that application. This is important to ensure your safety in the internet. So there are tons of QR code generators out there, but few of most popular include Kawya, GoQR.me, Visualid, and the QR Stop. So there are many free applications also online, and therefore you can take this chance to use them. Third is, once you have identified your free online QR code generator, you can now encode the text or the information you want. After that, run it and save it as a JPEG file. Now you have successfully created your own code which you can download. Last is, test the QR code using the QR code reader or the QR code scanner so that you can assure that you have created the correct QR code. Now let us proceed on 10 interesting ways to integrate QR codes in your teaching. Good morning everyone. Today I will be discussing to you Module 3 entitled Digital Skills and Tools in Delivering Technology Enhanced Lessons. Teaching becomes rewarding when learners get the most from instructions as manifested in their performance. An important element in engaging learners is when the strategy used in delivering the lessons uses an instructional material. When properly and appropriately used, this can spice up the classroom activity, and these instructional materials may come in. Second thing to integrate QR codes in teaching is the scavenger's hunt. So the scavenger's hunt is a game in which the organizers prepare a list defining specific items, which the participants seek to gather or complete all items on the list. They could create an interactive classroom activity there using a QR code that provides direction or instruction that results in a better learner engagement. So Scavenger's Hunt is a game that is very beneficial or very helpful to the students so that they can easily identify the activity or the items on the list that is organized or prepared by the teacher. Third is to share resources. Learners or even instructors can use QR codes to share educational resources with each other. For example of this is the lecture notes, web contents, and the how to do videos or even audio files. Number 4 is to enhance classroom library. Create QR codes of students' brief write-ups about why they enjoy their book and put them right in or on the books in the class of library. Students can be using these QR codes to find out more about the books. So it is a way, easier way to identify or to find out more about the information in the books. So you can use these QR codes to help the students to identify or make their research more easier. Number 5, use in classroom activities. The QR code can be used in giving instruction in class and pin them up inside the classroom. So instead of providing them with thick copies of printed materials or giving an instruction on how to do an activity, it is more easier to make QR code that can be used in giving your instruction in the class. And you can put it or pin it inside the classroom or beside the blackboard or something, bulletin board there, so that they can easily access your instruction from that QR code using their QR code scanner or QR code reader. Number 6, we have the gather students' feedback. So you can create survey, polls, and forms using Google Form and share them with the students as a QR codes which can be easily scanned and accessed. So in creating surveys, polls, and forms, you can also use QR codes which can be easily scanned and accessed by your students, so that you would also um, make your work harder like that, so that you can also make your work easier. Number 7 is to provide help with homework. So a detailed instruction can be made into a QR code which students can scan at home and use the information to help them comply with their assignments. Number 8 is the research project. Make students QR codes linking other resources and web contents to their research work. So it is beneficial for students to make QR codes linking to other sources and web content that is related to their work or to their research work, so that they could make their research project easier to access. Okay, number 9, communicate with parents and partners. So you can share information to parents on school events or activities in school. You can also put on a web page for parents to get information or include it in a newsletters, permission slips, and etc. You can also have them printed as magnets and parents can get the information. However, be sure to orient the parents on how to use QR codes. So before doing this kind of integration of QR codes in your way of teaching, you should have to orient first the parents on how to use the QR code, so that they would also know how to see or how can easily access the information or the instruction of the activities that you have given. You cannot just share information to the parents without them orienting what or how to use the QR code. So it is very important first to orient them and how to use QR codes before doing this or integrating this kind of teaching. The last thing or the last way on integrating QR codes in teaching is to provide easy access to online content. So create QR codes with URLs for students so that they can easily gain access to the online resources. Sometimes when a long URL is given, learners may copy a broken URL version. Hence, resources become inaccessible. So, QR codes or creating QR codes are very beneficial to both students or from both learners and the teachers. Teachers can make their works easier by making QR code. They can put the information, the instruction they have. They need to relay from their students, and the students can also easily access that QR code by scanning that only, or by using only the QR code scanner or the QR code reader. By that, they can access the information, the instruction, and anything. So it is also safer to use, I think it is more safer to use QR codes than giving a long URL, because it was stated here that giving a long URL version can be broken or can be broke, and that would result into an inaccessible or unaccessible URL or information. Let us proceed to the letter B, using laptop and infographics. So there is an apparent deluge of information around, and access to this is made easier through the internet. So you are faced with one major question on how to best interpret it and put it into one cohesive information that is quick and clear to read. Let us first define what is infographic. So infographic is a visual representation of information and data by combining elements of text, image, chart, diagram, and more recently, video. An infographic is an effective tool to present data and explain complex issues in a way that can quickly lead to insight and better understanding. I have also concluded the tools or the apps you can download in making infographic. First is the Vesme. Vesme create either static infographics or fully animated and interactive design. So Vesme's drag and drop editors also the visual assets you could ever need to create a memorable infographic. You can either create static infographics or fully animated and interactive designs. The next one is the Canva. Canva has a large variety of visual assets, from simple icons to colorful illustrations and animated stickers, so much that it can be overwhelming to some people. The next one that I concluded here is the PictoChart. PictoChart is another tool geared mostly towards infographic creation and design. Unlike most other infographic tools on this list, PictoChart is more similar to Visme in that they offer solutions for businesses instead of just bloggers and content creators. PictoChart has been a long-standing favorite for infographics and is always up to date with trends and many more tools or apps. We have also ways for which infographics can be used in teaching or in learning. First, infographic can be used to present survey data. Infographics can be useful in presenting survey data. So data are much easier to decode and they can be made easier or quicker to understand if they are presented in an infographic. So the image below is an example of presenting survey data. The second thing which infographic can be used is to simplify a complex content. Infographic is a very effective educational tool as a way of summarizing key concepts, of providing an overview of a lesson. An example is given below. I have concluded here the image of an example of simplifying a complex context using an infographic. The third thing is to explain how something functions. So, you can show the intimacy of how something complex works, and infographics can reveal the mechanics behind how an object works. Designers can also create infographics by showing the mechanics behind integrate objects, processes, and concepts. I do not conclude the picture of how something functions, but from the data that I have seen, I'm sorry I didn't include it, but just try to imagine that the phone or the phone or the mobile phone. That is an example of how to explain something that functions. Pinapakita doon kung paano nagpa-function ang phone. ano ba yung gamit nitong ganitong bagay, like that. Just try to imagine that. So that is one of the example of explaining how something functions. It is it can it can reveal rather the mechanics behind how an object works. Fourth thing is to compare. Presenting information by highlighting similarities and differences through a visual parallel in an infographic can turn out more effective than sometimes expressing it in words. In infographics, you can easily compare the data or informations. You can be able to identify easily the similarities and differences of the data. Like for example, in the picture, you can clearly see what is the difference or comparison of the imported foods and the local foods. So number 5 is to present interesting facts. When information or facts are presented in all words, the use of infographics can bring life. If there is a written text, the information may not stand out compared to when it is presented in this format. Infographics can transform information into visual images that can surely attract and engage the readers. Just like for the example that I have given below. Now let us proceed on how will you make your own infographics. So you need to do the following. First is to go online using the PC or the personal computer, laptop, of mobile phones. Search for Canva, Bestman, and Vengage, among others, or something that something tool that can create infographics. Third is to create or sign up an account if you still do not have one. In order to design your own infographics, you should sign up first. So fourth is the procedures of making your own infographics. Here are the procedures in making an infographic. First, choose the most suitable template of your use from the library. Second, you may use images from their file or upload your own pictures. Third is to make a cohesive layout containing correct and essential information. Fourth, you can choose background and font style. Fifth, you may change the color of boxes and the text to suit your style and add stunning filters to add flair. 6. Save the image of infographics. And 7. Share your infographics you have created. Let us proceed now to the letter C, the iPad, tablet, and the online bulletin board. Creativity and collaboration are fun. A dull and boring bulletin board can be made interesting when done online. Posts, when done with theme backgrounds, stylish fonts, and varied colors, become attractive to learners. An online bulletin board is a way of presenting ideas with a twist and interest with no cost at all. I have also concluded the tools or the apps you can download in making infographic. First is the Bestme. Bestme create either static infographics or fully animated and interactive design. So Bestme's drag and drop editor has also the visual assets you could ever need to create a memorable infographic. You can either create static infographics or fully animated and interactive designs. The next one is the Canva. Canva has a large variety of visual assets, from simple icons to colorful illustrations and animated stickers, so much that it can be overwhelming to some people. The next one that I concluded here is the Pictochart. Click the chart is another tool geared mostly towards infographic creation and design. And that would be all for today's discussion. Thank you for listening.